Usually when there's a new law, that there's an implication for potentially needing to enforce it, like you said. So what are some new things that families should know about so that they can advocate for themselves and their family members?
Seclusion and restraint. You need to know about that. You are required to get a written letter of what happened, of the incident. It needs to be reported. You're supposed to get called. So make sure that if you have a child that is at risk of either being restrained or secluded, just be aware of that law and what your rights are, and that you need to be notified immediately, and you are allowed to get a written recounting of what happened.
And Michelle, do you all have some of that information? I know that collecting data about that was a big thing that came out of that law, and it's been eye-opening to look at some of that data. If families were to go to your website, do you keep some of that information there? How can they connect with you?
We do. We have a wonderful volunteer who's put together this very cool map so that it's visual. So if you're more of a visual person, you can look at that. If you're more data, the data's there. But at moempower.org, you can look on our website.
And if I may jump in on this, the reason we have this data is because of the law that MODE helped pass. And it's honestly upsetting, if I'm being honest. There's been over 9,000 incidents of seclusion and restraint reported since July 1 of this school year through January 18th of this school year. DESE's been updating the data about monthly, so I expect that those numbers will get updated shortly. But when you think about, yes, we have 800,000 plus students across Missouri. That's a very high percentage of seclusion and restraint. And it's worth noting too, that it's not just students with disabilities or IEPs who are secluded and restrained. It can be any student in any district. So if you suspect that your child is being secluded and restrained and you haven't been getting reports, please reach out to MODE or to us at the ARC or to Maggie at Legal Services, because the law is very clear on that now, but it is going to take some brave souls coming forward so that we can make sure that it's enforced too.